The Moeller technique is a 3-stroke technique, starting with a Moeller Wrist Stroke, also known as the Moeller Whip Stroke, followed by a tap stroke, followed by an upstroke. The Moeller technique starts with the Moeller Wrist Stroke, also known as the Moeller Whip. It looks like this. Here's how you do it. Start in the down position with the tip of the stick down, just like the basic wrist stroke. In the basic wrist stroke, we talk about going up to strike down. In the Moeller, we go up to strike down, except we bring the wrist up first and leave the tip of the stick down. The stick follows, and then we whip it down, and then leave it down. That's the Moeller Wrist Stroke. Let's talk a little more about it. The stroke actually has to be initiated at the elbow hinge. In order to get the wrist in this position, like this, where it's curved, with the stick pointed down, we have to hinge at the elbow and then whip the stick back down. You will see on videos, people will talk about an exaggerated shoulder whip, where you bring the stick way up. That's really not necessary at this point. People will also talk about an exaggerated elbow lift, where you bring the elbow up and point the stick down to do that. At this point, that's also a lot to be working on. Right now, what you really want to focus on to start with is just hinging at the elbow like this. If you lift up on your forearm from the elbow, leave the tip of the stick down, it's going to happen. It has to happen. That's a good way to practice the Moeller wrist, lifting from the elbow. Once you get to there, finish the stroke. In other words, move your left stick out of the way and whip the stick down. And you'll get that kind of sound. This is a good little trick to use for getting used to the Moeller Wrist Stroke, also known as the Moeller Whip. Again, as you're practicing this, do it with both hands. Make sure that you're keeping it simple. No need to go all the way up here or even all the way out here. Just what you want to work on is getting that wrist to droop, that drooping wrist with the stick pointed down. We go up to strike down. The elbow has to move. The shoulder moves a little too. See how my arm swings out? That's coming from the shoulder. That is the Moeller Wrist Stroke. Work on that with both hands, get comfortable with it, and then go on to the next video and we'll talk about the second stroke in the Moeller technique.